Hey guys, welcome to a How-To Tuesday. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this pretty little flower stitch. This is going to be featured in my Saguraro Nights Scarf, which is coming out very soon. And I thought I would show you exactly how to do this little stitch. That way it makes it easier for those who are visual learners like me. Okay, so to get started, I'm just using some scrap worsted weight yarn because I feel like that's going to show off the stitch really well for y'all and make it a little bit easier to follow along. So the flower stitch is worked in front post double crochet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to wrap it around my hook one time, and then I'm going to go into this stitch right here. Not the stitch I've already worked into, but the stitch right next to it. And then I'm going to work one front post double crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we will work back into that same front post double crochet. So now I have 2 front post double crochets around that same stitch. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and do it again, working back into that same double crochet. Okay, so right now I have 3. We're going to repeat this until we have 5 double crochets, 5 front post double crochets around that one single double crochet. So now it should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I'm actually going to take my work and I'm going to kind of turn my work upside down because we're now going to start working the other petals into this double crochet stitch right here. So right next to it. So I'm not going to chain anything. I'm just going to go ahead and yarn over and set up to do my first front post double crochet. So now I have 1 front post double crochet around this stitch right here. And I'm going to do the same thing, chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet, so now I have 3, I have 4, and then chain 3, and now I have 5 right around there. Okay, so now if I open up my flower, it looks a little bit like this. Now if you notice up at the top here, we do have a little bit of a gap. We're going to fix that on the next row. So for now, you have already worked into this stitch and this stitch. So you're actually going to come into this next stitch here because you don't want to double into that same stitch. We're going to close it up on the next row to help it have more of a circular shape. But right now it looks like a very cute butterfly. You should now have something that looks like this. So let's get started to do our next row, which is going to help close up the top of our flowers. Okay, so here's how it's going to look at the end. So here's how it's going to look at the end, just with this little flower here. So I'm going to double crochet up until I hit this little section here, and I'm going to take care and make sure that I work double crochets into those 2 stitches that we missed but kind of didn't miss. What we did in the previous row was a front post double crochet. So we're going to make sure that we actually go into those double crochet stitches that we went under before. So I am skipping this No, I am not skipping that. I am skipping this little chain stitch here, which is counting as our first circle stitch. And I'm going to go into these 2 stitches right here, one at a time, and just double crochet into each of them. And that helps to fill in the gap that we left when we did our front post double crochet. I'm making sure that I skip that circle stitch right there and just work into this next stitch here. And that will help to close up the gap up top. Okay, so I'm now to my 3rd flower here. So I'm going to work into that last double crochet there, skip that circle stitch where I've got the chain 3, and then work down here, just a regular double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 2 stitches right there. And then make sure I skip this chain 3 over here again, and then just double crochet to the end of my row. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it over and show you. There's my 3 cute little flowers, ready to be a whatever project that you would like. Thanks. Bye.